My music stopped. I'm gonna do something about that. So now I'm having to talk more. What in the world? Oh, kitty cat. I don't know if you guys can see the cat over there or not. We had this little wild cat come up about a month ago. Won't let you touch him. He wants to be close. He wants to be close to where you are, but he won't let you touch him. My daughter, she's been working with him and working with him every day. And he'll get close to her and lay down near her, but she'd make a move and he'd take off. Just a couple of days ago, we had him where he would come in the house to eat. You put food down, he'd come in, make a move towards you, and he would retreat. A couple of days ago, it was cold, and let him in, and I come in the living room and look down, and my daughter's basically got him in her lap, just a petting away. And he was very contented. Let him back outside, and he goes back right back to his old ways. Not sure how I feel about that. He's got a mustache. He's got a beard. Cats running everywhere. Excuse me just a second. Got to have some music. Cut an arm in here. There's something like a treasure. know if you guys can see right down here under this arm. You can't cut up here. This is an absolute down cut. There's no way to. That's a transition point right there. This is the upside, and this is, you know, this way you're carving up, this way you're carving down. So right under there, the only way you can really get in there and do anything, I mean, if you took a gouge, you could run it, but if you'll roll that, get in there and roll that knife. Get right in there at the bottom and just roll. And that's starting cutting, slicing forward and rolling down. I mean, you're basically doing this motion here. That way I can cut these legs in right here. I figured I'd better say something because I'm sitting here carving and not talking. I'll tell you, one of the best guys I like to watch on YouTube carve is Kevin Coates. I don't know if you guys ever watched any of his videos. Hey Kevin, if you watch this, I have never heard the man speak. He doesn't talk on his videos. He just carves. And he's an awesome carver. Carves with the biggest knife I've ever seen. It's an old fillet knife that he repurposed for a carving knife, and it's awesome to watch him carve with it. I'm not sure I could do it, but I was just thinking about that. I'm sitting here not talking. Kevin never talks during his videos at all. He doesn't have to. You understand what he's doing. You can watch him and just understand what he's doing. He's that good. And he's taught me a lot. He's not the only one. There's others. I mean, there's plenty of others. But that just dawned on me. I wasn't saying anything. I was thinking about, that's the way Kevin is. All right, let's see if I can do the other side now. Cool ground. Cottonwood tree, last birds of summer have flown. Eyes that pine upon sycamore ridge, lonesome and dry as a bone. Lonesome and dry as a bone. That is amazing how hard that is to cut right there at the bottom of that. I mean, this is basswood. Just because it transitions, it is a pain in the tail. I don't know if you can see that roll cut. That's really the only way to deal with that. You hear that grind? That's how hard that is. My knife and that wood is not neither one of them's appreciating the workout. be honest with you, I had forgotten how crazy these things are to carve. So I'm going to make it a point to say, if you want to learn grain, get you some basswood eggs. But do what I'm doing here and mount them on a stick, because I don't want to tell you to go get a basswood egg and then you cut your hand off or your finger off or something. Because I mean, you see I'm holding this stick right here. So, and I'm carving with it. Of course, when I turn it up this way, I have to hold the egg, but I don't think I've told you guys how this all started, but since I'm sitting here talking and carving, might as well. Before 2011, well, no, let me take that back. Before 2013, I had never done any woodworking to speak of. I mean, I'd done I built a dog house or two. They were so bad the dogs wouldn't even live in them. So, needless to say, never been a woodworker. So 2011, I got hurt at work. Fell and messed up my back. Had back surgery. Woke up from back surgery and I had no feeling in my right leg. That was, like I said, 2011. And my right leg is hurt 24/7, 365 days a year. I don't know how many days that is since 2011, but I can assure you it has hurt every day since then. There's days when it's better. There's never been a day when it didn't hurt. And there's days when it's a lot worse, like it has been here lately. Really been kicking my tail here lately. So the powers that be decided that I didn't need to go back to work. I guess nobody wanted to sign off on me going back to work, but they wouldn't let me go back to work. So I took the only choice I had, and that was disability. And apparently whatever happened to me must have been pretty bad, because I wasn't turned down the first time. I didn't have a hearing. I didn't even have a lawyer. And they said that's kind of rare. So apparently whatever happened to me was pretty bad, I assume. But when they put you in that position, they don't tell you what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to make a living, Because I can promise you disability is not a living. If it wasn't for my wife's income and what little bit I've started making off of this, my fixed income would be broke. I always thought that was funny. I hear people say they're on a fixed income. I always wanted somebody to come fix mine. I haven't figured that out yet. I do know what it means, but you can't be sarcastic. You can't be sarcastic and claim you know what it means. Anyway, So I spent about 2 years going, what in the world do I do with myself? My wife worked at a pharmacy. No, she wasn't a pharmacist. Uh, she didn't make that kind of money. Her boss at the time, the gentleman owned the pharmacy, was a wood carver. And he was always after me to come carve with them, with their group. And I always turned him down because I said, you know, I'm not a woodworker. That's what I thought wood carving was a woodworker. You know, straight lines, all that kind of good stuff. And I always put him off. One day I was in the library and I come across a book on carving little people. And I took it home and started messing with it. Started carving my own stuff. Actually cut limbs out of this basswood tree right here and carved those. There's his arms cut in there. And I was actually kind of proud of him. Because I never created anything with my hands. So I took my carving pieces up and showed them to my wife's boss, and he says, well, now you're coming to carving. And I said, yes, sir, I guess I'm coming to carving. That was in 2013. So I go to carving and go to their carving group. And at this time, I hadn't spent a lot of time on Facebook or didn't read a lot about carving. Didn't have any carving books. Had a sheetrock knife for my carving knife. A Husky sheetrock knife from Home Depot. And that's what I was using. And the first night I went to carving to the group, this gentleman walks up to me. Older white-haired gentleman. I shouldn't say that. I'm gonna get in trouble for that. A little farther along than I am. White-haired gentleman walks up to me, sits down beside me, and he says, "You care if I show you how to carve a face?" I said, "No, sir. Go for it." So that'd be awesome. So he sits down and proceeds to just absolutely blow my mind. And when he gets done, he shakes my hand and introduces himself. He says, "My name's Harold Enlow." I'm like, "Well, hey, Mr. Harold Enlow, I'm Tim Peavy." I didn't know Harold Enlow from Tommy. And then went home. Boy, I was pumped up. I was ready to go. I was getting every book, and I was going to do everything, you know. And I got to looking into wood carving, you know, and I start seeing all these books feller by the name of Harold Enlow. I'm like, what? Can't be the same guy. Then I saw his pictures. I'm like, holy cow. So you can imagine the next time I saw him how embarrassed I was to tell him. I had no clue who he was. But I did after that. And I've been lucky enough to carve with him just about every Tuesday night since 2013. Now, you can't tell it by my carving, but I have been able to carve with him. But one thing I learned pretty fast, and he explained to me also, you got to find your own style. You can't carve other people's style forever and be, as good as you'd like to be. So I found my own style, and I'm a little bit hard-headed. Not much, but a little bit. I like to do things my way. And I've been doing it ever since. I've always made a little bit of money at it, doing shows and stuff, but here lately I've been trying to get a little more serious because, I don't like to be a downer, but financially, sometimes you just have to. Oh, I told you earlier I'm not doing this for money. I'm not. I'm not doing this YouTube channel for money. If I can teach, it's like this. If I bring you guys along, maybe you'll bring me along, If you don't, that's fine too. Uh, if nobody buys anything from me, that's fine too. I'm able to give stuff away then. I mean, I've been able to do things with this. Uh, I carved a cane for a good friend of mine he was 94 years old. He was a POW in Germany, and carved an eagle head cane and name, rank, his favorite verse, the Bible, him and his wife's name, everything was on this cane. And when I gave it to him, some of you guys probably have heard this story, but I went up to him and handed it to him. Told him I wanted to show him a cane that I'd carved for a friend of mine, and he took it and he started looking at it. He's like, this is really nice. And as he got down, he saw his name and his number and everything on there, and tears started rolling down his eyes, down his cheeks. And at that moment, I realized that people had told me I had a God-given gift, and I didn't understand what that meant. At that moment, I realized what that meant. Shook me up a little bit, actually. The fact that I brought tears to this gentleman that had been through hell at one point. He said nobody had ever given him anything like that. And I would have never, ever been able to do something like that without carving. And that's where it's at for me. I mean, I've been able to give other canes away, and if I never sell another walking stick or another cane or anything, that's fine. I will have some nice sticks to give away to folks that need them. And I can promise you, you'll never sell anything that'll make you feel as good as the day you're able to give something to a 94-year-old vet and make him cry. Promise you, you'll never beat that one in sales. It just won't happen. But that's how I got started at this. Really, really, really would love to be a chainsaw carver, but my body won't let me. I mean, it just absolutely will not let me. I've actually tried, and I can't do it. I can do it. I mean, I can do a little. I can do a little bit of roughing and then take the angle grinders and then get the hand tools out. But I don't consider that full chainsaw carving. Oh, and that's what I want to do. But that's all right. If I can't do it, I can't do it. You know, I can do what I can do, and I can do this. Guys, it might take me a week to get this video uploaded, because I know I've been went over, probably over an hour. Hey, I'm right at an hour. I've never done one in one video this long, so we'll see. It may not upload off my phone. It might blow my phone up. Well, I'm about done. I'm fixing to cut a shoe in here and a couple of shoes in here. Tommy, this probably isn't going to be your Santa, but it's been a little while since I carved an egg. I needed to practice anyway, so I know what to expect now. But again, like I said, guys, if you want to get some experience on some grain, try you one of these eggs. But please mount it on a stick so you don't cut yourself, or at least don't hold me responsible if you do. And I will say, I don't know if you guys notice, I jump topics a lot, but back and forth. If there's some space in between some of my videos before, I hadn't posted a video in a while, I have days when it's just hard to get out of bed. I always do. I don't stay in the bed, trust me. That's the worst thing. I'm not one of those people that can sleep in, but that's what you always think. It's hard to get out of bed. Well, it's hard physically to get out of bed sometimes. It's hard to walk sometimes. This leg that has no feeling in it, it's kind of strange to say it has no feeling, but it has nerve damage. It hurts so bad the last 2 days, I can't explain it to you other than it hurt. And that's not the only thing. I mean, still got terrible back issues, but if there's some distance in between my videos, sometimes that's why, because I'm not feeling it. I'm not able to. I don't want to make it worse. So I take a break for a day or two. I don't like to do that, but sometimes I have to. I'm almost done, guys. Trying to give him a kind of a smiley bottom lip here. I don't know if you guys notice every once in a while you kind of hear me trying to maybe take a deep breath or something. But I've got damage in my upper back right where it meets my neck, and we've never been able to figure out what's wrong there. That's been since 2011, and that's not under workman's comp. That's on me. They wouldn't cover it under workman's comp, but and it's only been the last couple of years that it's given me a problem. But it's from that injury. Occasionally have a hard time getting a deep breath. Not all the time, but you can probably hear me on my videos when I am having a hard time with it. And I have a smells used to not ever bother me. Sprays and candles and things like that, now they bother me, which is weird. Now he's got a little smile there.